Hey legends, welcome back to another PKT video. Today, we're going to discuss none other than the Magellan deck. A lot of people play a lot of meta decks, and what I have noticed playing Magellan, because I always play Trafalgar Law, is that it is very viable in this set still. It's still viable. Not many people play Magellan. I don't understand why not. We'll go through the cards, I'll explain the cards, and then we'll jump onto the online sim and I will do a few games with the Magellan deck. Magellan's leader ability is when a Don card on your field is returned to your Don deck, this leader gains 1,000 power during this turn. There we go, this turn. So he's really good up against Whitebeard. So why I'm saying that is because most of the time, a lot of purple cards, you've got a -1 Don to use the on-play ability or, basically on-play abilities. Buffing him to 6k is hitting Whitebeard and not having to put any Don under your leader. So we're going to go through the cards, what I run in mine. It actually runs really well. I'm surprised at how well it runs. So we have 4 Hannibals, or Hannibals. So Hannibal is, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 purple Impel Down type card other than Hannibal, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And he's a 1k counter. So on screen, I will show you what cards you can search of Hannibal that is in my deck. So they'll be on the screen. And yeah, it's a very good card, a very good supporting card to have in the deck. So we have 4 Shikis. So I mainly use this one as counter power. I don't really play this one. This one does have an on-play like trigger. So the trigger is to -1 Don and play the card if you get it out of life. But he is a 2 cost 3,000 power. But he is a 2k counter. And I run 4 of him. I mainly use him for counter power. So I did have 3 of these in the deck. But I've reduced it back to 1. On KO, if your leader has Impel Down type, draw 2 cards and trash 1. So it's really good to filter through your deck. I've dropped it back to 1, and I'll tell you why when I get up to the other card. We have 4 Little Sadie. Little Sadie is really good. So not only is it a 2k counter, but the on-play ability for Little Sadie is play up to 1 Jailer Beast type card or character card from your hand. So the good thing about this is you pay 3 to play Little Sadie down, and you play another card out for free. It doesn't even tell you any cost limit or anything. Which there is a few combinations which will also be on screen. What's in this deck of the cards you can play off Little Sadie. We have 4 Minnow Zebras. They're a 1k counter. So this one has Banish. For people that are watching this and don't know what Banish is, if you're starting to learn to play One Piece, when this card deals damage, the target card is trashed without activating its trigger. So if I swing at life, which is leader card, with this card, and they let the tagger through, they don't take the life, they trash it they put it to their trash. So that's what Banish means, which that's a pretty good card, especially if the opponent can't block it. That's really good, and it gets through. That's 1 less life they can't have in their hand. We have Minnow Koala. So Minnow Koala is a 1k counter. It's a blocker. So it's straight out a blocker. You don't need to minus any cards to make it a blocker. Its on KO ability is if your leader has the Impel Down type, add up to 1 Don card from your deck and rest it. So you just bring the Don card out and rest it. So it's a good card to help you get your Don back up. Now I like this one. This one's a good card too. So I run 4 of these. This one is Minotaur. It's a 4-cost 5k. It has 1000 counter power, and it's a double attack. So this card deals 2 damage to life instead of 1. So if they if the opponent lets it through, they have to take 2 of their life cards to their hand. They don't have to trash these ones. So they just deal 2 damage. So it takes taking 2 life cards. On KO, if your leader has the Impel Down type, add 1 card from your Don deck and rest it. So pretty good card. So that's another way to get your Don back. Now this is an all favourite blocker. I run 4 of these. So this is Queen. Queen is from the structure deck, STO4. So she's a blocker, and her on play, his on play, I keep calling her. His on play ability is -1 Don, draw 2 cards, trash 1. So it's filtering your deck still. Really good blocker card to have, especially for the on play ability if you're trying to look for a card. Now this is one of my favourites. So this is just the standard SR. I still need one more alt art. But this, I run 4 of these. I'll move it to this one because the alt art looks nice. So I run 4 of these. On play ability is -1 Don. So you -1 Don, your opponent returns 1 Don card from their field to their deck. Now on the opponent's turn, when this character is KO, your opponent returns 2 Don cards from their field to their Don deck. So they have to put 2 Don cards back to their deck. It's a 5-cost 6k power, no counter power. Still a very good card. If you want to try and slow your opponent down with their Don. Now, we have these cards. These ones are actually pretty good. This is X-Drake. So, X-Drake is a 5-cost 5k, 2k counter. On play ability is -1. Your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. So, this is really good to try and drop the opponent's cards. So, let's say if they've got 4 or 5 cards, you want to put an attack through. You play this one out to make, and minus a Don back to the deck, to make the opponent trash a card. It could actually help you with the gameplay. It's actually a really good situational card, I believe. We have 3 kings. So this is the this is the structure deck king, the STO4. So he's a 6-cost 7k power. -1 Don, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So this is still a really good situational card, especially if you need to get a blocker off board, or you just need to try and knock the board down a bit. Definitely a good card to have in the deck. Now, these are the new additions. So I took 2 of the rhinoceros ones out for these 2. So these is King from OPO1. He's a 7-cost 7k. His on-play ability is crazy. -2 Don, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a 3-cost or less, and one of your opponent's characters with a 2-cost or less. So he's really good, especially against Trafalgar Law, Zorro, all the decks that play the lower end cost cards. This is really good to not wipe 2 of your opponent's characters off the board at the same time. So I've got 2 of them in there for that reason. Oh, this is my favourite SR. So this is the STO4 Kaido. 9-cost 10k. On play -5 Don. So you put them back to your deck. KO one of your opponent's characters with a 6-cost or less. This character gains rush during the turn. So this character on its play gains rush, and you can swing at your lead character, whatever you want to swing at, the turn it is played on. This is like a really good card, especially if you're trying to get the end game. And you need to get rid of a blocker or something. Get rid of that blocker, swing for 10. If they can't get out of 10, you've got the game. Now, I do run event cards in Magellan. So I run 4 of Judgment of Hell. This is a crazy card. So this is a counter card, guys. So this is played when your opponent's attacking you on their turn. So you pay your 2. You -1 Don back to the deck. Give up to a total of 2 of your opponent's leader or characters minus 3,000 during this turn. So what happens is, I have leader swinging at me, I pay the 2, return 1, I can choose to take 3,000 off the leader and 3,000 off a character as well. So if the character was their final swing and they had no Don left, or they already put their Don on there to calculate their Don out, they've wasted their time doing that because I have taken that off their character, and then I can still counter out of it. Now I'll put this one in there. I've only got a 1 copy of this. And this is a main, so this is played on your turn. So you pay 3, you minus 2 back to the deck, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a 5 cost or less. So that's actually good if you need to get rid of something off the board and it's in hand. And it's only cost you 3. And finally, we have Thunder Bagua. So I've only run 2 of these. Here's a 2 cost event card. So this is a counter, so this is played on your opponent's turn to counter out of attacks. So you got to make sure too, guys, that you keep Don standing to play these cards. You have to have active Don. So your leader or one of your characters gains 4,000 power during the turn. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and rest it. So this is not too bad. It's actually really good. So that's just the overview of the deck I'm running. And we'll go across to the online sim, and I will play the deck on the sim and show you guys how well it actually goes. I can't believe that not many people play Magellan. To me, this is one of the most underrated decks. I call him the underdog because not many people play him, not many people have the counters for him that I've noticed like locally. But yeah, so let's go across to the other screen and we will check it out. Alright guys, I thought before I go in and actually play the deck, I'll just show you the list that there is of how many cards are in the deck and what's in the deck. So if you guys want to go check it out, if you guys want to build it, see how you go with it, by all means, copy this deck, go check it out, see if you like it. You can make additional changes to it, and now we'll just go in and we'll actually play the game. Alright, so we're up against a smoker deck. I haven't gone up against a smoker deck in a hot minute, so let's see how we go with this one. Black is a very strong deck, and people underrate that one as well. Give one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during this turn. Okay. We need Impel down, which we can take. Take that. And then we may as well go searching again. We'll take one of them. And so you can't attack on your first 2 turns. So when you have 1 Don and 2 Don, you can't attack. But when it's at 3 Don, like the smoker deck is, that's when you can start attacking your opponent. Oh, I haven't seen this one. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during the turn. Activate main. You may rest this stage. If your leader has the navy, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 during this turn. That's actually pretty good. So there's an activate main. You got to put 1 Don underneath it. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during the turn. Then if there is a 0 character on board, basically, the leader gains 1,000 power. So he's at 9 by putting 1 Don under. I think you could. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think. Oh, and that card too. So I don't know how well we're going to go up against Smoker, but let's give it a go. So yeah, that one gives a the total of 1,000 power as well. So it's pretty good.
Coolridge is now certified carbon neutral. So if
what can we do here? We've got 4 Don. Let's go attack. Try and get that off board really quick. Because that's going to keep giving him 1,000 power each turn that is activated. Probably should have killed it, but that's okay. We starved his hand of cards as well, so he had to kind of take the life. So he's minusing the cost to gain his 1,000 power off that, which is the leader ability. And he's getting the cost off that as well, so he's at 8 right now. 9 again. Turn 1. May as well buff out of it. Don't know if that was my best move, but we'll see. Also, guys, when you do play out the minus cards, so I'm going to play out Queen, use her ability. Always play out the -1 Don first before you use your leader so you can get the buff. So yeah, anything that has Return a Don to the Don deck, always play out before you swing with your lead. Just because then that gives you your 1k buff on your lead. Otherwise you're actually wasting that off, that ability, by not doing that. I know that you don't normally play cards out first because they might get nuked, but for his ability you need to. I mean, if you're going to, like, if you go play Queen out at the end and you're -1 Don, well, that's 1,000 power you lost off your lead. Try and get some good cards. I've left 4 Dons standing for Thunder Bagua and Hell's Judgment. Oh, supposed to put 1 more Don under it. And sometimes don't be scared of swinging with lead. You can actually get attacks through. I mean, swinging with a blocker, you get attacks through.
Whether you're running on a treadmill or for the morning bus, you've got to stay hydrated because...
Looking for dog food that's healthy, flavoursome and fuss-free? Say hello to the new
And there we have it. We won. I don't know whether it's because how they played against, like, with Smoker, but that was, like, not too bad at all. So, Legends, it can be done. You can actually play Magellan and win. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys want to go try the deck out, definitely go try it out. It's definitely a fun deck to play. As I said, I normally play Trafalgar Law, so it's a good change, I should say, not different. It's a good change from Trafalgar Law. So, yeah, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed and you're liking the content, and click the notification bell on any upcoming live streams or videos.